sticker. It'll help you through. Get it from ELLIEBETH Designs. ELLIEBETH Designs. ELLIEBETH Designs. ELLIEBETH Designs. Brighten up every day. ELLIEBETH Designs. ELLIEBETH Designs. ELLIEBETH Designs. ELLIEBETH Designs. Brighten up every day.
Lovely people, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel if you're a returning viewer, and welcome if you're new here. So this is a bit of a different video. It's taken a couple of months to make actually, because what you're seeing here now before you is somebody who has spent the last 2 months developing, testing, getting frustrated with all sorts of, every emotion has happened in the last 2 months, as I have been developing it's actually a completely new product, to be honest. To me, it is a move in production of my stickers, and it is a change and move in the very material that they're made from and the process that I'm actually using for it. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go when I come to edit it, but basically I'm going to chat through sort of what's been going on, and I have quite a few little clips and things that I filmed along the way which I will intersperse when they become relevant. We have got a beautiful sunny day here today, so the light's going to keep changing. Nothing I can do about it, sorry. So for the last 6 years I have run ELLIEBETH Designs from our home. I began in the corner of our bedroom, literally. I had a little desk set up with one silhouette portrait to cut my stickers on, and my MacBook and a printer, and that was it. And that's where it started. And rather rapidly things grew, and I moved into the conservatory, which meant that we didn't have a dining space, but you know, we managed. And a year and a half later we actually moved house to where we are now, and when we bought this house we needed, or we decided we wanted a space for the business. Now you may have seen snippets of this office space that I'm in now. There is a full tour that I did a while ago. I'll try and link that video up in the top left, top right, up above, and you can take a look at how my setup has been. I now run with 9 silhouette machines and at least 3 printers, with one kind of as a backup spare. However, that is a really labour intensive process to actually make the stickers, which you all love so much, and it also limits the capacity that we have for restocks, which really frustrates me, and new releases. I don't know if you remember, a couple of years ago I used to have 2 What's New Wednesdays a month, and I used to release about 6 different collections at each of those. Now what's happened is that was when I had somebody working for me. Actually I had 2 employees But of course, you know, things changed. One went to university, another got a new job and left, and that's all well and good. And then with the pandemic, it's not really been a good time to try and take on somebody else to do that role. So my poor long-suffering husband has been not only packing orders, he's also been cutting a lot of stock as well. And he also works full-time. And more than full-time at times. You know, he's a structural engineer. He works from home at the moment, but he works long hours and he needs his downtime and some sleep. So it's been feeling like, a little bit like, this has not been sustainable in the long term, and something needed to change in our process, in my process, of actually how the business worked. And the really obvious thing that was taking up the most time was that production piece, that production process. So we did a few experiments, me and Luke. We worked out how many sheets of stickers, I have said that so wrong many times, I'm sure you know which video I'm meaning there, each of us could do in an hour, just to get an hourly rate roughly. And the other thing that I was very conscious of is that with all that machinery running, our electricity bill and therefore electricity usage has been going up and up and up, and that concerns me. That concerns me a lot. So that's some of the background to where we have been and where my thinking has been probably in about the last 9 months or so. Now, one of the other things that I'm always wanting to do, of course, is to create a better product for you guys. You know, I have always said they are gorgeously vibrant stickers, that I want those colours to be spot on. I want them to be something that really does brighten up your day. You know, I know sometimes my tagline, brighten up every day, it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? But the reality is that every day has something that's good in it, and I know for me that when I put something down in my planner and I use a sticker or I make something colourful or whatever it is, it just makes me feel that bit better, and that's so important for well-being and mental health, which, if you know me, you know I'm pretty passionate about. And with that in mind, making sure that mine and my family's well-being is looked after is really, really important too. So I've been mulling this around in my head. What do I do? How can I improve this? How can I make the production process easier, smoother, more efficient, slicker, in order to produce a better product for my customers, in order to give Luke his nights back, in order to, you know, reduce the amount of energy that we're using, especially here. And, you know, just ink cartridges alone was like, oh, I hate this. And I was thinking around, well, I could employ somebody, okay, I could create a job, right, brilliant, and that would allow me to then basically double potentially my production capacity. But it's not economically viable, because it would mean purchasing another set of equipment. It would mean obviously the implications of employing somebody in your home in a pandemic. Yeah, bit complicated. And actually we don't have the 2 office spaces anymore because Luke's working from home now. So that was kind of a short-lived idea. Then I was thinking, well, okay, can I cut more stickers at once? How can I make that happen? Can I move to a bigger machine, something, you know, where I can print wide format and do roll-to-roll cutting, roll-to-roll printing and then roll-to-roll cutting? Can I make that happen? What are my options? Some of you may know that Anna over at Plannerface has been going through a similar kind of journey. We've been chatting about options and sharing ideas, and I really do want to just give her a shout out because she's been such a great source of encouragement and support over the last few months whilst I've been trying to go through this process. So I was sat at church probably 8-9 weeks ago, before service, and I was chatting to my friend Marie, and she was saying, oh, how's business going? I was telling her about my kind of dilemma, my conundrum. I was like, well, I need to expand, I need to increase production, but the only way to do that is to invest in more equipment, and I don't actually have the capital to do that, and I'm still not sure that's the right option, and I really don't know what to do. Well, Marie and her husband Sean have a stencil company called EBDUK Designs. They are local in Chorley to me, and actually I helped Marie learn how to use a silhouette when she was first starting out with her product. I tell you what, seeing the growth in their business has just been amazing, and I am so pleased for them. It's awesome. So she said to me, well, why don't you come on down to our premises, I suppose is the right word, and we'll have a chat, and you know, maybe bounce some ideas around, it might just help. So I thought, okay, yeah, let's do that. So I went down and we were having a natter. Anyway, showing me around their premises and the workshops, and we go into the print room, and in there are 3 massive print and cut machines, and I looked at her, I was like, oh my word, that's exactly what I need. Sadly, they are many thousands of pounds. I was like, oh, okay. So then we were talking around it. I said, well, another option might be for me to outsource my production. Except then I'll lose control over the final product. I'm not so keen on that. And I was like, maybe their machines could do that. And Sean said, well, let's try some, shall we? So what you're going to see in a moment is or what you're going to see as part of the video vloggy bits are some of those first test runs and what we decided to do to them.
Oh, that'd be good, yeah. Put it on your testing phase.
Oh my god. Do you want to rub it with the...
Give it a little slish slash. Yeah, that's ace.
Brill.
Absolutely fine. So one thing that about business is that a shared resource is always going to be better, because if you can share resources in the sense that they're not running their machines 24/7, so they have downtime on them. And as we realised this, I thought, well, maybe there's something we can do here. And Sean said, well, how about we try it? Let's get some roll media. Let's see what we can do, and let's see if these machines can produce stickers to the quality that you are wanting. And so we kind of went through various options of different paper stocks, various different materials, media, and really frustratingly, I couldn't get my existing paper stock on rolls that would be compatible with the machines. So that was a bit of an annoyance. But then I kind of thought, well, hang on a minute. I have always loved the finish and the saturation and the colour that you get when you print on vinyl. And if you've ever had any of my creative packs, you'll have had vinyl in there with the die cuts and the little postcard that's always in there. The colours are just so much more vibrant and deep, and they just pop. You get a far better definition on the artwork. You can see every little detail, and it's just, it is simply a better finish and a better product. But of course, if you're going to go to vinyl, then number one, it has got to be matte, because I don't like glossy stickers. Don't know about you, I hate them. And it also, I really need removable and repositionable stickers because I can't stick straight. You've got to be able to write on it with the majority of pens, because I don't know about you, but I am not going to put down the pen that I am using to pick up another one just to write on a sticker. I'm just not going to do it. inevitably I will write on my planner with the, say, a permanent marker, and it will go through, and then I'll be like, no. So yeah, basically it's got to be Rachel proof. And it's got to be something that's available in the UK and is relatively easy to get and hopefully fairly nearby. So Anna told me about a particular media that she'd been testing out, and I thought, right, that sounds great, let's get some and let's try it. So then we went into the sort of testing phase.
Sorry for the flashing, but you'll get the idea. So here we go. So we are playing with different colour profiles, and if you can see, the bit I'm more interested in is what's going on in here, whether we're getting any streakiness in the gradient. And yeah, I think I found the one that's working well. So my next job is I'm going to do a big test swatch, but oh my gosh, the colours. The only thing that is in there is there is slight graininess. Very, very slight, but that's actually the vinyl, it's not the print quality.
So what I've ended up with is a beautiful, beautiful product. It's printed on this gorgeous matte vinyl. It is the definition, I mean, just look at the colours on the washi. Come on, camera. Camera, do it justice, please. If you just look at the colour and the definition on that washi strip, it is absolutely beautiful. And when I saw this coming off the Mimaki, because that's the maker of the machines, I was just in awe. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my word. There's been studies about how if you play music louder, it actually sounds better. It's my excuse anyway. And I really feel that with colours, when you get that depth and that saturation, even in a pastel colour, it doesn't have to be bright, but when you get that depth to them, I just think they look better as well. So this is a weekly core from What Lies Ahead, which is a collection that I released last month, I think it was. No, month before last, I'm trying to think. And so many of you purchased this and have been enjoying it, and I've loved seeing it in use in your planners. And you'll know that, you know, the detail that we get in the washi and the colours are just so beautiful. And, you know, obviously I work hard with my printing process to produce as high a quality finish as I possibly can. You know, I have a secret blend of ink from various different places that I always have to use, and certain settings that get tweaked, and so on and so forth. But let me just show you what the same sheet looks like on the new matte removable vinyl. Here we go. So just even starting with the sheet header, you can see how much more vibrant the gold butterfly now is, and how we can see much more gradation of colour in that header, and much more difference in the gradients as well. It just feels like it pops off the page. It is so, so beautiful, and it just has that, oh, I don't know, a visual kind of zing to it that just, oh, it just brings me joy, quite frankly. So the other side of it is that the machine that I'm now using is far more accurate in terms of cutting. So my wastage is going to be reduced. There's not going to be as many seconds, I hope, please. And I just, yeah, it's just an absolute joy to use. So there you go. That is kind of a side-by-side comparison of the same design on both types of media. So I learnt new software. I've been learning new software. I've had to learn to use Adobe Illustrator and Bridge and a bit of Photoshop. I've had to learn to use the Rasterlink software, which is what runs the Mimaki print and cut machines. We did a lot of colour testing. and I did even more pen testing, and I've got a couple of little clips to share with you about that. I feel I should preface it by saying that the one with the pen testing was filmed at about 9:15 on a Saturday night when I was absolutely shattered because I've been working a 6-day week.
That wasn't my biscuit.
Accompanied by a cup of peppermint cream from Bird and Blend, featuring milk oolong tea and fresh peppermint. This is not just any pen test. This is the ELLIEBETHDESIGNS UK pen test. And yes, I have actually lost my brain, my mind, whatever it is I'm trying to say.
So there you go. So as you may be thinking, okay, that's great, you had all those pens, which ones worked? The only ones that I've had issues with, and I will put a list down below of all the ones that I've been fine with, even if they just needed like a minute or two to dry, just to be aware, are the Pilot G2 and the Pilot CG Tech or GC Tech, one of those. Those are the ones that haven't been very happy about writing on the printed vinyl, but they have been okay on the white part of the vinyl, so that's just a consideration. I sent samples next out to my creative planning team and some of my customers for testing, and I asked them to fill in a survey which they could do anonymously if they wanted to, so that I could just get some real feedback from real planners, from real people. The feedback that I got was overwhelmingly positive. Everyone was like, wow, they look amazing. The colours, the saturation, the definition, the detail is just incredible. They feel thin, they feel like they become part of the paper. They are no thicker than my paper stock stickers, but the backing paper is heavier, so you might think that they're thicker, but they aren't. Generally, the only concerns that came up were using them in Hobonichi. A couple of people found that they removed absolutely fine. A couple of other people found that they didn't. And I suspect there's a thing going on with temperatures, because one of my creative planning team who did find it tricky to remove them from the Tombow river paper said that she actually gave it a blast with a hairdryer or a heat gun or something, and it then removed absolutely fine and was perfect to use again. So there are ways and means of making it work. The other concern that came up, and this is one that if you're in my Facebook group, you'll know we've been talking a lot about over the last few days, and that was the use of plastic instead of paper stock, because vinyl, it is a plastic, okay? And that was a real concern for people. You know, we all know that we need to use less plastic. We all know that we need to be changing the way that we live in order to minimise the impact on our environment and on our world. I don't think I'm saying anything that's going to come as an absolute revelation there, am I? And that has been a real key thing for me as well. I mentioned earlier about how many machines I use and how many printers I run, the amount of ink I go through, and it just comes in these dinky little cartridges, and yes, you can send them off to be reused, recycled, but again, it's still not great, is it really? Because you've still got the packaging that goes around those, you've still got the getting it actually to your door, you've still got all of those considerations within the supply chain and the process overall. And I guess the thing that I realised is that you may not know, but stickers, regardless of what they're made from, are not actually recyclable. The backing papers are coated, and that cannot be reclaimed during a recycling process of paper. I'm guessing though that given that I'm talking to people who use a paper planner, you're probably looking at other ways to minimise your impact rather than through what you planned with. So looking at my process now, overall, I believe it is better. I'm using less packaging, less plastic waste. I have less going to landfill. I'm working in, or my production is now set up at another premises, which means that we're sharing resources, even like lighting and heating, you know, that in itself makes a difference. And it's all about those little teeny tiny incremental differences adding up.
Good morning, lovely people. It is Monday, the 17th of May, and I've just driven a journey that I've been making quite a lot recently, which is to EBDUK Designs, who are my friends Sean and Marie. They own a vinyl and stencil company. They make amazing vinyl decals for windows, and you might have seen them on my stories actually, or on my Instagram at Christmas. And they also make stencils for home decor projects. So one of the benefits of having friends like that is that they have the equipment and the machinery to make the most amazing stickers. And I'm going to show you today a little bit about what that's like, and explain a little bit about how we got here. So let's get ready, let's go inside, and here we go. So this is the print room, and we have these two big printers here, print and cut machines I should say. You can see that we're making some decals there, and then behind me we have the smaller one, which is currently printing off some new samplers. So there you go. So hopefully this is videoing okay, because as you can see it's got light going across. It uses UV light to cure the ink. That's why it's completely waterproof, fade proof. You know, it's amazing. You'll have seen the test of, no doubt, of people having put things in the washing machine and Pepsi and pouring water on it, and that's why, because of the way that the printing is actually done. So over here are the huge bottles of ink which this printer uses, and you can see that we've not just got cyan, magenta, yellow and black, we've also got light magenta, light cyan, and then two whites. Now, because Sean and Marie tend to be making decals for windows, they use the white a lot. These two colours mean that we use less ink and it's faster than if we only had these four. So that means that it's faster, it's therefore more energy efficient, it's more eco-friendly. And then you can see the size of the bottles of ink. So they last quite a while. And of course, because they are bigger, there's less packaging. Now, this has now finished its print, so let me just show you this, because what it's going to do now is, of course, the cutting. So it's all having a little think about it, and in a moment it will go and get the registration marks, and then it will come and cut the stickers. Oh, here we go. It's having a think. This blade's going to come out any minute now. I find it fascinating watching this. Go. So now it's reading the registration marks. You can see just there that there's a slight sheen to the stickers once they're printed, and that just gives such a beautiful, beautiful finish. Okay, it's read its final registration mark. And here we go, it's going to start cutting.
of this really is to say, well, what's next? Since I've been working out the house now a few days a week, I'm noticing a difference in how I feel, because just getting out the house does you so much good. Just being around other people, you know, swapping ideas, chatting, it's really, really good. I'm going to be moving, therefore, my production and order fulfillment out of this space, and it's going to be moving into EBDUK Designs. I have a little corner that I've claimed, and it means that Luke is going to get his evenings back and some of his nights, because on a Friday and Saturday he would literally work till 2-3 in the morning. That's not good for anybody long term, is it? The price point is going to stay exactly the same. There is absolutely no increase in price, even though if I was to try and do vinyl on my existing setup, it would be such an expensive product, simply because buying vinyl sheets in the right size to fit the portraits is incredibly expensive compared to buying it to fit Mimi, as I've now named the machine that I'm using, because you have to name things. And with that in mind, I'm also introducing what will probably be a permanent discount on the website, which is if you buy 5 sheets of stickers or more, you will get an automatic 15% discount. And that doesn't matter at the moment whether it's the old paper stock or if it's the new vinyl. You will get 15% off 5 items or more. So I wanted to be able to pass on some savings to you, because that's what it's benefiting me and you in that way. Existing stickers, there's still, I've got a few boxes of them over there. They are still going to be on the website, and as things sell out I will be reformatting and restocking them onto the new matte vinyl, and I hope that you will really enjoy using it. Okay, I really do. It's a beautiful, beautiful product to write on. It is just lovely. It looks so great in your planner. But I know that I can say all this, but you've not experienced it yet. So you will be getting vinyl samplers coming out in orders. So even if you're ordering on the old, I keep saying the existing paper stock, you will be getting an opportunity to try out some of the new vinyl. I hope that that explains a bit about the journey that I've been on in the last few months. Well, I say few months, it has been longer than that. I've considered going to kind of commercial grade equipment several times, but there's always been a barrier to it. Now feels like the right time. It feels like it's not my timing that's making this happen, but you know, it's the right time. And I'm really, really excited for what's going to be coming now as a result of the change, because with a less labour intensive production process, I can design more, I can make more, I can do more, and I'm really, really looking forward to that, because for so long my frustration has been to have a long list of ideas and thoughts and oh, wouldn't it be great if, and not have the time to do them. And now we're going to have that. So yeah. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I hope you enjoy the little vloggy bits that I'll have put in already, and there'll be some more to come probably. But I hope you've really enjoyed that, and look out for the What's New Wednesday preview video, which will be either up at the same time as this or shortly after. Because next week on Wednesday the 26th of May is our next release, and as you can see I already have stock being prepared. We're nearly there, and I cannot wait for you to be trying out what I feel is just the best sticker I've ever used. Yes, I just blew my own trumpet. Until next time, lovely people, take care of yourselves, and bye bye for now.